crisis
feed
ministries.
and provide supportive services to
Wonderful.
get people back to self-sufficiency.
I like that. Self-sufficiency. Wonderful.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming today. Make sure you get those tickets. Now over to John Bruce.
Trial Tuesday once again, everybody. This week is South Carolina DMV Amnesty Week, and Charleston attorney David Aylor, a guy who never shows his opposing counsel any amnesty in the courtroom, is here to explain how this works and what it means for folks who might have a suspended license. Counselor, thank you so much for coming back. We appreciate it. Tell me a little bit about Amnesty Week and why the South Carolina DMV is even doing this.
Well, it's actually obviously a benefit to the DMV, and it's also a benefit to some suspended drivers. Clearly, from the DMV side of it, they can get funds that they were going to get at some point, but it might not be till later on. And from the avenue of a suspended driver, it's getting your license actually back reinstated.
Which is always a great thing. Tell me about who's eligible for this Amnesty Week and what they need to do to get their license fully reinstated.
Well, anything, unfortunately, that's related to drugs or alcohol suspensions is not able to go back and get that suspension lifted with paying the fines. However, things like, people that are under the age of 18 that have lost all their amount of points, they've gone over that limit, people that have operated taxis, without having licenses or vans for transportation, as well as probably the most important one would be people that have had their insurance lapsed and they ultimately got suspension for that, or they let someone else drive a vehicle that did not have insurance. But the best thing you can do is check online before you go down there and sit and see if you could actually apply.
So you can do that through going online. You can just log on the internet and say, I have this problem. Can I get my license reinstated?
Well, ultimately, it has specifics on the DMV website showing exactly what you can do and who's applicable and who's not. You can go to the DMV site. I put a link up on my site as well in case people can't find the DMV site. There's so many of them. But I would definitely suggest doing that first because, in South Carolina, as well in most states, there's so many individuals that have suspended license. And in this situation, if you can actually just pay the fine and be able to get your license back, I know as a prosecutor still in Hanahan as well as on the defense side, we get countless cases related to, suspended license. And this is an opportunity for some people to be able to resolve that.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are still driving on those suspended licenses because they have to get to work. They have to get somewhere, help their family out. And cops, they really don't like that. When they pull you over and they see that you got a suspended license and that you probably know it was suspended, they're not going to take it easy on you.
And you're going to jail. I mean, exactly. They're going to arrest you. And the fact is, even if you didn't know it was suspended, more than likely you're going to be arrested as well. So that's something you have to keep up with. And, you have people that have suspensions for years, even just a couple more months, but whatever it may be, you're still going to have to pay those fines. This is an opportunity to pay off those fines and be able to go ahead and get your license back today. It goes all the way through the rest of the week, and it's definitely worth looking into if you have license issues.
Absolutely, it is. And make sure that you, leave plenty of room to get in line and actually have to go through that process of talking to who you need to talk to at the DMV, then getting in the right line, getting the right forms.
Right.
And making sure that you pay the right amount.
And that's why I suggest looking online first to see if your situation is applicable to actually being able to get that release. Probably wouldn't be a great opportunity if you went up there and sat for a good while to find out that you actually couldn't get the suspension released.
Certainly not. And some of those fines nowadays with modern technology you can actually pay online.
Right, exactly. There's ways to pay fines online, and obviously you want to try to print out any kind of documentation of that as well. Keep all the documentation you have if you've already paid some things. I think what this will ultimately do is also make people look online and realize that maybe they didn't realize that their license was suspended,
right,
or they actually have some outstanding tickets.
If you do have those outstanding tickets, what do you need to do right now? What's your first legal recourse?
If you have the outstanding tickets, I would actually call where the tickets were issued at clerk of court. There may be a warrant even out for your arrest. That happens fairly often where someone will have a ticket that they just forgot about, and then ultimately when they don't pay it, a 30-day warrant gets put out for their arrest, and that can cause a bad Christmas. I had a client that happened to once.
Absolutely, and we should mention that those are mostly moving violations, right? Not parking tickets. That's a separate issue.
Exactly. Those are moving. Parking tickets, you're going to either get towed or get the boot.
All right. Well, Attorney David Aylor, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully a lot of you take advantage of that and get those licenses reinstated and drive safe out there as always.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Counselor.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with more Low Country Live after this.